Hey everyone, welcome back to English Podcast Adventures. I'm Michael.
And I'm Sophia. Thanks for joining us today.
Today we're talking about something that happens to everyone, arguments in English. We'll cover harsh words, debate vocabulary, and most importantly, how to resolve conflicts peacefully.
That's right, Michael. Whether you're arguing with friends, family, or colleagues, knowing the right vocabulary can really help you express yourself clearly and know when to stop.
Before we dive in, don't forget there's a free PDF in the description with all the vocabulary we'll cover today. It's super useful for reviewing later.
And speaking of useful, we've got 730 amazing subscribers right now, but we're aiming for 1,000. If you're listening and you're not subscribed yet, come on, don't wait. Hit that button and join the adventure with us.
Exactly. And while you're at it, give this video a like, leave us a comment, and share it with your English learning friends. It really helps our channel grow.
All right, Michael, should we jump into our first role play? This one's going to be a nervous, heated argument.
Let's do it. I'll be the frustrated one, and Sophia, you'll be defensive. Ready?
Ready. Let's go.
Sophia, you promised you'd help me with this project, and now you're backing out at the last minute?
Don't twist my words, Michael. I never said I'd do the whole thing. I said I'd help when I could.
That's not fair. You never listen to what I actually say. I'm stressed out here.
Stop putting words in my mouth. You're being completely unreasonable right now.
Oh, so now I'm unreasonable? You're the one who can't keep a simple promise.
You know what? I can't deal with this right now. You're impossible to talk to when you're like this.
Okay, let's break that down. Whew, that got intense quickly, didn't it, Sophia?
Yeah, I could feel my heart rate going up just from acting. But this is exactly how real arguments can escalate.
Let's look at some key phrases. First, don't twist my words. This means don't change what I said to make it sound different.
Right. If I say, I might help you later, and you say, so you promised to do everything, then you're twisting my words.
Another big one was you never listen. This is what we call an absolute statement. Never and always make arguments worse because they're usually not true.
Exactly. Instead of you never listen, it's better to say, I don't feel heard right now, or I feel like you didn't understand me.
We also heard that's not fair and you're being unreasonable. These are common and heated arguments, but they don't really solve anything.
And notice how we both started raising our voices? That's a sign an argument is getting out of control.
The phrase, putting words in my mouth, means claiming I said something I didn't actually say. It's similar to twisting my words.
And when I said, you're impossible to talk to, that's what we call an attack on the person, not the problem. It makes things worse.
Great point, Sophia. Now let's try our second role play, the overconfident, talkative argument.
This time, Michael, you'll be the one who dominates the conversation and interrupts a lot. I'll try to get my point across, but you won't let me.
Got it. This is going to be frustrating for both of us.
Michael, I think we need to talk about what happened at the meeting yesterday.
Oh, you mean when you completely embarrassed me in front of everyone? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Wait, that's not what I...
No, let me finish. You always do this. You say something without thinking, and then you act like it's no big deal.
You're not letting me explain.
That's ridiculous, Sophia. I always listen. But what you did was basically gaslighting me in that meeting.
Gaslighting? That's a serious accusation.
Stop exaggerating everything. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You blow everything out of proportion.
Michael, you haven't let me say more than 5 words.
Come on, that's not true. You're being dramatic again.
Okay, that was exhausting. Michael, you were so frustrating in that role play.
I know. I felt terrible interrupting you like that. But some people really do argue this way.
Let's break down what happened. First, Michael kept interrupting me. Wait, that's not what I... You're not letting me explain. I couldn't finish a single sentence.
Interrupting is one of the worst things you can do in an argument. It shows you're not really listening. You just want to be right.
Exactly. Then we heard some serious vocabulary. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your own memory or perception of reality.
Right. If I say, that meeting went fine, when we both know it terrible, and I keep insisting you're wrong about what happened, that could be gaslighting.
Michael also said, "That's ridiculous," and "stop exaggerating." These phrases dismiss the other person's feelings completely.
And did you notice how I said, you always do this? Another absolute statement that makes things worse.
The phrase "blow everything out of proportion" means to make something seem bigger or more important than it really is.
But here's the thing. When you're not letting someone speak and then you say they're exaggerating, that's really unfair.
Exactly. Communication has to be two-way. If one person dominates, it's not a discussion anymore.
All right, ready for something more positive. Let's show our listeners how to actually resolve an argument peacefully.
Yes. This is the most important part. Let's role-play ending a fight the right way.
Look, Sophia, I think we both got a little heated there. Can we just take a step back?
Yeah, you're right. Let's calm down. I'm sorry for raising my voice earlier.
No, I should apologize too. I wasn't really listening to what you were trying to say, and that wasn't fair.
I appreciate that, Michael. I think I see your point about the meeting situation, even if I don't totally agree.
And honestly, maybe we just have different perspectives on what happened. That's okay.
You know what? I think we might have to agree to disagree on some parts of this.
That sounds reasonable. The important thing is we can still work together, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for being willing to talk this through with me.
Of course. I value our friendship too much to let one disagreement mess things up.
That feels so much better. Notice how different the energy was in that conversation?
Totally different, Sophia. Let's break down what made it work.
First, we both acknowledged the problem. We got a little heated. Admitting something went wrong is a great first step.
Then we said, let's calm down. This simple phrase can really help de-escalate a situation.
We also both took responsibility. I'm sorry for raising my voice, and I should apologize too. No one was trying to be the winner.
The phrase, I see your point, doesn't mean you agree completely, but it shows you understand the other person's perspective.
And agree to disagree is perfect when you realize you have different opinions, and that's okay.
I wasn't really listening. Admitting when you've made a mistake in the conversation itself is really mature.
By the way, we're still at 730 subs right now. Once we hit 1,000, we'll definitely celebrate. Maybe not with fireworks, but close enough.
We'll think of something fun. And remember, that free PDF with all today's vocabulary is waiting for you in the description.
So, Michael, let's talk about some warning signs. How do you know when an argument is getting too intense?
Great question. One big sign is when people start using absolute language. You always or you never. Real life isn't that black and white.
Right. And when voices start getting louder, that's usually not helping anyone understand each other better.
Another warning sign is personal attacks. If you're attacking the person instead of discussing the actual problem, you've gone too far.
Like saying, "You're impossible," instead of, "I'm frustrated about this specific situation."
Exactly. And interrupting. If someone can't finish their sentences, the conversation isn't working.
What about body language? Even though we're doing a podcast, our listeners should know that crossed arms, eye rolling, turning away, these all make arguments worse.
Good point, Sophia. Your body language sends a message too. If you look bored or dismissive, the other person will feel it.
Now, let's talk about some phrases that can help prevent arguments from getting out of control.
One of my favorites is, help me understand. Like, help me understand why you feel that way.
That's so much better than "you're wrong." It shows you actually want to listen.
Another useful one is I feel like instead of you make me. It takes responsibility for your own emotions.
So instead of "you make me so angry," try "I'm frustrated when this happens."
What about, can we pause for a second? Sometimes you just need a break to collect your thoughts.
Yes, there's no shame in saying, "I need a minute to think about this," or "let's continue this conversation tomorrow."
And here's a cultural note for our listeners. In English-speaking countries, it's generally okay to take a break from an argument. You don't have to solve everything immediately.
That's a great point, Michael. Sometimes stepping away actually helps you solve the problem better later.
Now, let's talk about different types of arguments. There are actually productive arguments and destructive ones.
Right. A productive argument is when both people are trying to solve a problem or understand each other better.
But a destructive argument is when people just want to be right or they're trying to hurt the other person.
In a productive argument, you might say things like, "What if we tried?" or "I wonder if there's another way to look at this."
But in a destructive argument, you hear things like, "You're crazy," or "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard."
And listeners, if someone is calling you names or making you feel bad about yourself, that's not a healthy argument anymore.
Absolutely. Disagreement is normal and healthy, but personal attacks are not okay.
Let's talk about some advanced vocabulary for our more confident English learners.
Good idea. To escalate means to make something worse or more intense. The argument escalated quickly.
To de-escalate is the opposite, to calm things down. Let's try to de-escalate the situation.
Defensive, when someone feels attacked and tries to protect themselves. Don't get defensive, I'm just asking a question.
Confrontational, when someone seems like they want to fight. His tone was very confrontational.
To compromise, when both people give up something to reach an agreement. We need to find a compromise.
Stubborn, when someone won't change their mind even with good reasons. He's being really stubborn about this.
And here's one that's super useful. To misunderstand. I think we misunderstood each other.
That's so much better than saying someone is stupid or wrong. It leaves room for both people to save face.
Speaking of saving face, that's an important concept. It means protecting someone's dignity or reputation.
Right. Good conflict resolution lets both people keep their dignity. Nobody has to be the complete loser.
What about when arguments happen at work, Sophia? The vocabulary changes a bit.
True. At work, you might say, "I have some concerns about," instead of "this is terrible."
Or, "I'd like to discuss," instead of "we need to talk." It sounds more professional.
"I see it differently" is more polite than "you're wrong."
And let's find a solution that works for everyone, shows you're being collaborative.
But Michael, what if someone is arguing in bad faith? That means they're not really trying to solve the problem.
That's tough. You might need to say something like, "I don't think we're going to agree on this right now," and just end the conversation.
Or, "Let's talk about this when we've both had time to think about it." Sometimes people need space.
And remember, you can't control how other people argue, but you can control how you respond.
Exactly. Stay calm, be respectful, and don't take the bait when someone is trying to make you angry.
Don't take the bait. That's a great expression. It means don't respond to someone who's trying to provoke you.
Let's do a quick review of peaceful resolution phrases. "I understand where you're coming from."
Let's find a middle ground.
"I appreciate you sharing your perspective."
Can we work together on this?
"I'm willing to compromise if you are."
What matters most to both of us here?
These phrases show you're trying to solve the problem together, not win a fight.
And here's something interesting. In English, we have a lot of idioms about arguments. We need to clear the air means to resolve tension.
"Let's bury the hatchet" means to end a disagreement and be friends again.
We're at odds means we disagree about something.
We're on the same page means we agree or understand each other.
And to see eye to eye also means to agree. We don't always see eye to eye, but we respect each other.
These idioms are really common in everyday English, so they're worth learning.
Now, let's talk about apologies because they're super important for resolving conflict.
A good apology has 3 parts: acknowledge what you did, take responsibility, and say what you'll do differently.
So instead of just sorry, try, I'm sorry I interrupted you. I should have let you finish your thought. Next time, I'll wait for you to complete your thought.
That's so much more meaningful. It shows you actually understand what went wrong.
And avoid, I'm sorry, but that's not really an apology if you're making excuses right after.
Right. I'm sorry, but you made me angry. Doesn't take full responsibility.
What about accepting apologies? You can say, I appreciate your apology, or thank you for saying that.
And it's okay to need time. I appreciate your apology. I need some time to process this, but I'm glad we talked.
Before we wrap up, let's mention that arguments can actually strengthen relationships if handled well.
Absolutely, Michael. When you work through a disagreement respectfully, you understand each other better.
It shows you can handle conflict together, which builds trust.
And you learn about each other's values and perspectives.
The key is fighting fair, no personal attacks, no bringing up old issues, and focusing on the current problem.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. How are you feeling about arguments in English now, listeners?
I hope you feel more confident about handling conflicts in English. Remember, the goal isn't to win, it's to understand each other and solve problems together.
And practice makes perfect. Try using some of these phrases in low-stakes situations first.
Before we go, don't forget to grab that free PDF in the description. It has all the vocabulary and phrases we talked about today.
And if this episode helped you, please give it a like and leave us a comment. We love hearing from you.
We're still working toward 1,000 subscribers, so if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends who are learning English.
Click the video on the screen to watch another one, and we'll see you in the next English podcast adventure.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye for now.